Damn. Got to get the hang of that hammer. All right, welcome to the October 16th meeting of the Rotary Club of Milledgeville. Jay, you're going to be double duty today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Please bow your heads with me, and I'm going to take this. It's originally written from one of our club members from Bellingham, Washington. His name is Joseph Coons, so I'm paraphrasing. We focus on the objectives we have for the world: peace, with blessings and opportunities, tranquility, and we as Rotary members of True Brotherhood reaffirm our commitment to our four-way test. We reaffirm our commitment to high ethics in all that we do, and we give thanks for all the blessings, opportunities, responsibilities that befall us as Rotarians. We continue in this new millennium, this new year, this new century, in optimism, renewed energy, and commitment to the service to you, our fellow men and women. Please, Lord of the universe, help us so serve. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, and if you would join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay, and the four-way test. It's things that we think, say, and do first. Second, third, fourth. Okay. All right, thank you. This is obviously a club meeting today. So,
What are you going to do? Eric? Yeah, I was just letting them know if they wanted to pitch in to throw it in the chat or text me. No. No, we've got Herschel and Bobby standing by to talk.
okay,
Go ahead.
all right. So let's go ahead and do the raffle if you don't mind.
I don't have a ticket.
All right. Let our president Mark draw a ticket. Go ahead and read it out, Mark.
I hope I got the right one. 418. Jeff. All right. Here you go.
All right. There you go.
Oh, yes, four documents. Thank you for that. All right, on to you, sir.
All right, thank you. Today we're going to have club assembly, and it's going to be done a little bit differently than we've done it before, but we have announcements first. Do we have perfect attendance award? We aren't doing that this week. Never mind. Okay. District Governor Terry Atkins actually sent out a message this morning that the district is adopting or looking to adopt new bylaws as part of a move to incorporate the district. And I've known that these were in the works. I just didn't know how far along they were and that kind of thing. The meeting, and it's open to every Rotarian in the district if you want to come, will be November the 15th. It's a Saturday at 2:00 at the Little Okmulgee State Park Lodge. So I'm going to go down, obviously. But if anybody else would like to go down or to carpool down, I'm glad, let's talk about that. If you are planning to go, please let me know. And even if you just have an interest in what the proposed bylaws are, send me an email and I will send it out. Or I guess I could just send it out to everybody in the club. I'll do that. Somebody help remind me to send them out to everybody in the club. I just got them this morning and haven't had a chance to look at them myself. We have several different club initiatives rolling at the same time. Erin, you want to talk about the virtual bake sale?
Yes. So the Impact Club has decided to raise some additional funds for our club. And when I say our club, I mean our club as a whole. not just Impact, but the Impact members are doing a bake sale, and I'm offering it up to Rotary members first if you would like. If you look at the back, you'll see a list of items that have already been promised. If there's a dash beside it, that means quantity is open. If there's a quantity, that means that's all there is. And if you would like to order, see me before you leave, and I'll put you on the sign up sheet for whatever it is you would like. So there's a lot of yummy stuff on this list.
And I did look over the list. It looks like some interesting ones. My favorite might be the chocolate chip oatmeal pecan cookies.
Yes, those are delicious.
All right. Fred, where are we with bicycles? Well, go ahead with whatever you were going to ask, and then we'll ask about bicycles.
Thanksgiving food boxes, we're gearing up for that again this year, as we do every year. We're partnering with the Baldwin County School System to identify families that are in need. Dr. Brooks, Dr. Brooks. So yeah, we partner with Baldwin County School System in giving out food boxes. Our goal this year is 50 boxes, I believe. And so what we're looking for is people who can sign up to donate. I believe it's $75.
I kept it at 50.
$50, okay, $50 this year. So there will be sign-up sheets on your desk. We're gonna have these out for the meetings to come up until November the 22nd. And if you'd like to, just start and put your name down there. If you want to just make a dollar donation, you can do that. If you have a specific family you would like to donate the box to, you go ahead and check that box. If you would like to personally deliver it, let us know. And then if you would also like to meet with us at Lakeview Academy, which will be on November the 22nd to help hand out the boxes, you can check that box as well. So these will be up at your table by the hand with you, Kristen, but Kristen will collect these after the meeting, but she'll reconcile them into a primary database, and we will be on our way with this project.
Sounds great. Thank you, Dr. Brooks.
Rotarians have had the opportunity to have them bill for it. I don't know if we're gonna do that this year, so that,
Yes, I can do that, but check this out. So if you're behind the dues.
If you're behind the dues, your credit isn't any good.
But sure, if you'd like to have that, just stop by and see me afterwards, and I can certainly invoice you for the $50 or whatever amount you're willing to contribute.
Okay.
How's the bikes work? How many we need?
So,
50?
right now we're at 50, and I think we're at 20.
well, we had 26.
26.
Hang on,
Yes, 26. So,
hang on, I took two today.
okay,
28.
okay, so I don't know how we're tracking that.
I know down to these two, I haven't checked out mine yet. What's a bicycle cost?
Hang on.
So anyway, we'll partner up with me and Kristen to get together and make sure we're tracking that. But I
Okay.
think we're at 27 more.
All right. Anything else? And we were looking to do 50?
We're looking to do 55.
Okay.
And that's by December the 16th.
Okay.
If we get that, can we just drop it off over by
By
the?
the armory,
Okay.
yes. Just please
Yeah.
let Kristen know
Yeah.
that you're dropping it off. She's giving us all that.
All right, thank you.
And I'll-
Was there anything else for Toys for Tots in that process? Or is that,
gonna be a bike email.
Kristen, do you know the
Was that
answer?
bike email?
I did not hear the question.
Well, there was going to be a bike email, how we could do bikes or money or whatever. When we had the bike discussion, I haven't seen the bike email.
Okay, I will get with Fred on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, no problem.
All right. Thanksgiving baskets we talked about. Looks like we got all my announcement. Anybody else have announcements for the club?
Just
Dr. Price.
want to thank Lynn Chandler because he's agreed to support us with the Thanksgiving baskets. He goes to Walmart and arranges all of that. But he put a list together, so each family would get a turkey, stuffing, green beans, corn, sweet potatoes, cranberry sauce, oranges, and dinner rolls. That would be what we would be delivering to them, and he's gonna get pricing for us at the moment, so. But
Okay,
I thank Lynn ahead of time for agreeing to do this and partnering with me to make this happen.
Give us the date again, I'm sorry.
It is the Saturday before Thanksgiving, November 22nd.
all right, but do you need help before then, other than people
No.
signing up to?
Just people signing up. And then we need help the day of to pick up.
Okay,
Yeah. The 22nd is when we would need help to get up that morning. And Dr. Brooks, we work with Ms. Knapp to identify the families and.
Lynn, did you have something? Okay. Anybody else have announcements for the club? We got a lot of projects coming up between now and the end of the year. I know it's going to take a lot of work and energy, but I think we can rise to the occasion and get that done. All right, so for club attendance, we're struggling with listen to me, club assembly. We are struggling with a lot of different things that we have to consider as we go into new bylaws. Bylaws are not just somebody deciding what or the rules are. Bylaws are also about what the goals of the club are and what we want this club to look like. And that's why I felt like it was important for the board to hear from members what we want this club to look like. And in no particular order, I'm going to throw out some topics and have some discussion. And very few of you are shy. I know this because you let me know all the time what you think about different things. So this is your opportunity to let's air some of that out and talk about it. So as I said, I will, the first general topic I want to talk about is the number and kinds of meetings. And everything I'm talking about is for this club, not for one of the companion or satellite clubs. And just as a point of nomenclature, and I've gone back and forth with Rotary International, or not, yeah, RI on this, as well as the district. They are satellite clubs, not companion clubs, though some of them call themselves companion clubs. It gets crazy. But the rules that we're talking about, the bylaws that I'm talking about, are for this club. And you know, for lack of a better description, the sit-down lunch club. And first question I have is, do we want to continue to meet on a weekly basis for a sit-down lunch? Now, before I open it to questions, I want to kind of throw out some of the alternatives. Some of the alternatives have been suggested that we do that every other week and not. And several clubs do this. In fact, the district governor's home club of, I think it's Brunswick, does that. It meets every other week. Some clubs, I know there's a couple of the Savannah clubs do that, and then they throw in once a month. And I think one of them may even throw in every other week, either a project, actually go out and do something for the community, or a social function where spouses, significant others, maybe both, can come and enjoy some fellowship. And it's not a program, it's more of a social get together. So with that commentary, what are your thoughts about whether we continue to meet every week or defer to every other week? And do we integrate social and or work type of meetings? Now, come on now. I've heard a lot. Lynn.
I think we would have an opportunity to increase our membership. We go to every other week. Now it's social, I would prefer every other week, sit down lunch. That would have a significant impact on our food structure.
It would, agreed.
And we could pair that with Change Club, so we could address the menu issues. And I noticed today we have 4 vegetables, 3 meats. That's a little much. We could adjust that, and that combination of meeting every other week and adjusting the menu too would, I think, probably put our due structure in half. It would open up an opportunity for younger people to come into the club.
Would you also add a social to that maybe once a month? No. So simply every other week. Okay, thoughts, comments, other ideas? Jennifer?
Our dues don't include lunches, right?
Well, that's one of those things, and I've said this to the board before. This is in the 4 clubs that I've been a member of. This is the only club that doesn't say they include lunches, but in fact they do, because we pay for lunches out of what we collect in dues. So on a day like today, when we have a 30 minimum for the facility, we don't have 30 people here. We're paying for some lunches that we aren't. Now, if we have 40 or 50 people paying dues, not such a big deal because we're only paying for 30 meals. But we are paying here at the club, and we'll get into some specifics about the club in a minute. But right now we are under a 30 dues. Now, Lynn, one of the things I like about your idea, and if I got it right, you're saying match it up with the exchange club so that both clubs are meeting at the same time to take a benefit from the numbers. Okay, makes a lot of sense if the club will go along with that. I don't know what they charge the exchange club. We'll have to kind of talk and banter about that a little bit. But yeah, and then whether or not we add socials might bite into some of that savings that you're looking at for meals. But our dues do not technically include meals. As I said, every other club I've been a member of, you pay for 13 meals a quarter. And if you don't show up and you don't eat your meal, that's your kind of extra contribution to the club. And that's how the club makes candidly money. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I think there's meals of the same price as what I was told. Their minimum, I think maybe less because of the smaller club. Don't know that part. It was when I was part of the club before. When I was over there before I was here. But in a way, don't they meet more than twice a month?
No, they're down to twice.
Twice a month?
Well, I don't know if it's every other week or if it's twice a month.
I was a little bit concerned. Got away from eating every week, the attendance were even worse, maybe not.
As a younger person, I guess, in the club.
Don't brag.
I do think that every other week would potentially help with membership, just because when you tell people, one, attendance is mandatory. Two, that, which I don't know that it's necessarily mandatory anymore, but two, that it's every week. That's daunting on someone that works, especially with young children and different things that are going on. That can be extremely like, ooh, no, I can't do it every week. That can be an immediate no. Now I think the membership with all of the companion clubs has helped, but I do think it would help, especially getting new blood in here. And also as the program chair, we could scale down and have more meaningful programs versus me trying to fill up every week with just something. I feel like we can have more meaningful programs when we do that.
Okay.
But I think that advertising that, and I think that in order to make people coming every other week, I think we need to do, and Rebecca's done a phenomenal job getting it out there on Facebook so we can share it and things like that. I think getting it out on Facebook so people see what we're doing, see the good programs that we're going to have, stuff like that, people will go, I might want to be a part of that. And if they know that it is every other week, like exchange, we might get some input.
Okay. Hugh?
I don't know how every other week work. Somebody lost the rhythm of the meeting. Could we do it like the first Thursday and third Thursday, or?
Yeah, it would probably be better to do it that way instead of quote every other, make it rote.
This one, you could always tell that the meeting, next meeting.
Right. I think that's
I think first and third, or
Whatever they're doing, they're first.
they're first and third.
yeah, we would need to kind of coordinate that if we're trying to get the benefit of having the numbers. Aaron?
I like the idea of a social, maybe not every month, but in the past we did it the 5th Thursday of the month. And I think That makes you have what, maybe 4 a year?
Correct.
Yeah.
So quarterly,
I was about to say, at least every quarter, I think.
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, I like the idea of some kind of associates or fellowship, don't have to be a program, you'd like to do wine and blues thing or something. Or, and it can be a makeup, or, but I get the opportunity to have them go free. Program time, social.
Can I ask a question about the
No.
attendance? So what is our
Attendance, that's my next topic. So let's get the nature of the meetings first, and then I'm gonna get to attendance, because I think that's important. I really do. But
we
Kristen,
gotta be devil's advocate.
okay,
The point of our satellite clubs was to address those who could not attend the brick and mortar lunch meetings.
I understand
So
that.
we offer another type
An
of
alternative.
membership
Yeah.
that reduces your membership dues along with the being unable to attend a sit down lunch. So, now what was the point? Kind of, if we don't offer that, I
Well,
enjoy my weekly.
I enjoy our weekly meetings too, believe it or not. I do. No.
Any particular.
Hang on a second, Steph.
Remember while we did the additional satellite clubs.
But even still, I think there are people who can't do even an every other week or twice a month during the workday. I mean, I go back to my friend Sky Guess, and the fact that's her court day, she has no option,
She's now in our impact.
I understand, but she took advantage of the alternative, and I think that's great. I'm also wanting to increase the overlap and continuing working together with the satellite clubs, so that any of you should feel free to jump on one of the Zoom satellite meetings or work on one of their projects. Aaron, I'm sorry, Stephanie was next.
To piggyback off of that, I do agree, and I don't mind the weekly luncheons at all. I'm not saying that. I just think that every other week is not a bad idea either. But in an effort to continue to have new blood on the board, and we're not all doing the same thing over and over and over and over. I don't know about the companion clubs, but I feel like it's these that are in this room that are typically on the board. I don't know if those that are in companion clubs can be on the board. I don't know how that works. But I feel like those that are in this room are more apt to be on the board and to be the president and the treasurer and all of that kind of stuff than those that are in the companion clubs.
Well, I think right now the companion club's leadership is separate and doesn't cross over. But I think you raise a great point that we should consider that, or maybe have a representative of the companion satellite clubs in our board of the mothership, so to speak. This is, and y'all don't think for a minute that we're alone in this. I have 3 very good friends who are presidents currently in Rotary in Georgia, and every one of them are facing these questions and these issues, to include the number of people showing up for meetings, the number of, this is epidemic, not endemic.
So satellite club members can serve on the main board. And they actually suggest that at least one person, ideally the person who is in charge of the satellite club, comes to the main board or serves on the main board.
And see, that's what, and again, this is what needs to be addressed and spelled out in the bylaws. And until we get a consensus and an understanding of what the board decides, what the bylaws are.
And with that, I do think that at least the person is in charge of each satellite club attend, or at least be on the board. But on the flip side of that, they're not going to be the ones that are apt to be the president, programs chair,
Well, no, of this club, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a satellite club member that I think absolutely would be under that.
You think so? That would be great.
Well, and again, crossover, the satellite people can come to any of our lunch meetings. Now, the one thing we do require, if a satellite club member shows up at our lunch meeting, they got to pay for the lunch, because that's coming out of our dues, not theirs, so to speak. But that's something we can work out. Any other thoughts about types of meetings, frequency of meetings.
We're
Jeff, go ahead.
gonna-
Hang, Jeff.
I do think Frank is probably correct on the socials once a quarter. I don't think we would get great support on a once a month social.
Okay. And I think that's, as I said, I'm aware that one of the Savannah clubs does once a month and every 2 weekly meetings a month, whether they're every other or not. I'm not sure what to look at that.
The reason they're not part of Rotary is the lunch, and they talked about the possibility of the satellite clubs, but it's too much every week, and the cost is too high. So they're still kind of on the fence about even joining them.
Well, and the good news there is if we get this rolling in a way that makes sense for us now, maybe they see it and can, reconsider. Yeah.
What is the difference in cost? What's the impact for a membership versus
75 a quarter.
75?
Yeah. They're paying the basic RI dues and district dues and then something for their satellite club. But they do more on fundraising than they do on other things. I mean, we're strapped with RI dues, district dues, and then our lunches. We do have to pay for the things.
What are our quarterly dues now? 250?
250.
But I don't personally, I personally like what we're doing, but I'm not married to either one of them. If the group feels like it'd be good to do try it twice, I'm fine with that. I like personally having every Thursday I know I'm on the road, but that's changed. That's okay.
Well, and maybe as you said, if
Yeah.
if we don't know it's the first and third Thursday, we don't know if this is the odd week or the even week. I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
it can get confusing. And for simple people like me,
Yeah.
knowing that where I'm going on Thursday for lunch is pretty easy.
If it helps us bring in new members and it's a lower cost, I think that would be a good.
Yeah, I think those are the two, what I'm hearing. All right, attendance. I think, this is my own personal opinion, is that once we establish what our meetings are, then I think we need to have an attendance requirement. I'm not saying 100% of the meetings. I'm not sure if the right number is 90%, 75%, or even 50%. But I think there ought to be a floor. There ought to be, if you're going to be a member of the club, you should meet that expectation of whatever it is. Now Kristen and I can tell you a story about a fellow that we met with, and he swore he was going to start coming, and we still haven't seen him. And that was back in February? So, yeah. So thoughts about attendance requirement? Yeah.
Well, I remember when I first became a member, I thought that was really special because I thought that was, again, a commitment, and I'm an all-in person anyway. And so I think an attendance requirement, just what you said, it used to be 75%, I believe. And I know that Halsey used to go visit people at the time. That's not the best thing. It wasn't a bad thing, so much having said that, because at that point, it was like they gave you an out possibly. I can't make it, I just need to back up. It wasn't like, a reprimand of any sort, but either you're committed to Rotary or you're not, and if you're not, that's okay, move on.
Yeah.
So I am in favor of attendance rules.
Yeah, I'm in favor of a requirement. I'm just not.
So what is that?
I don't know whether that's 50% or 75%.
The thought process was, if there's 4 weeks in a month, and if there's 5, so if there's 4 weeks in a month, you could possibly not attend one a month and still be okay.
Yeah, and
That was kind of the, okay, in your mind, okay, I've been to 3 and I got something I've got to attend to. You weren't worried about
well,
a problem.
and where I started Rotary, there were 10 other clubs within a 5-mile radius of where I worked. So it was easy to go do a makeup any day of the week. We don't have that luxury here. Driving to Sandersville is just not an option for most of us, right?
We do make things, yeah.
No, you're exactly right.
I get 7:30 in the morning and I don't go.
I don't either.
7:30.
I'm not coherent at 7:30 in the morning.
You go in the board meeting, you can go to these other different things.
Yeah.
I think it-
Or the social events,
The social, I think we got two makeups.
or the projects, the work projects that we do.
Baseball on being, yeah.
All right, well then let me throw out a number. What about 75% with still all those other options for makeup, so to speak? Is 75% too much? Is 50% too little? Okay. This is the kind of input your board needs, folks.
You already think twice a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it doesn't go by the month. That's,
And plus, if you like, you're out in surgery or something, get a leave out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I took off 6 months for my knees, you know? All right. All right, that went pretty easily. All right, what's that?
That's the secretary's responsibility, correct?
Keeping track of that?
Keeping track of that 75%.
Yeah, I think yeah, that would be a secretarial head count responsibility. Something that I think we need, and I know he doesn't like to hear thank yous, but Michael does so much for us in setting stuff up that I really think we need what I'm going to call, and I've seen at other clubs, a house committee. And the house committee is responsible for the setup, and they kind of coordinate. And if Michael's not, the chair of the house committee, which our honorary forever chair, if Michael's not going to be here, just lets the house committee know and people come in. What was it, 2 meetings ago? We got here and I had to go get the key out of somebody's car. It was quite a trip, but we got it all together. But we had an ad hoc house committee. I think we need a house committee, and I'm just going to put that in the bylaws for the next, just as a heads up for everybody. And Sergeant at Arms is a job we don't have filled currently or even listed. Well, I think it's listed, but I don't think we have it filled. Okay.
Name tags.
And Sergeant at Arms does a lot of different things. I think a house committee is a separate concept and perhaps more disciplined. And one club I was at, the Sergeant at Arms actually got up and collected fines from everybody for, some guy shows up in shorts. Okay, you got to pay $1 fine. If you didn't have your rotary pin on, you had to pay $1 fine. So thoughts about, and candidly, with the right Sergeant at Arms, somebody like Wendell, it can be a humorous, fun experience. I was Sergeant at Arms one time and caught a widowed couple. Each of them had lost their spouse and they were starting to date and didn't want anybody to know. I called them out in a meeting over it. And we all had a big time, and I think they actually felt better about it afterwards. But those are the kinds of things that a Sergeant at Arms can do. And I suspect we all already have a natural, and we'll just leave it at that for further discussion. Other questions or thoughts about our meetings and our roles and that kind of stuff?
Well, at the risk of adding something to what you're talking about, the whole reason that everybody started talking about just doing 2 meetings was because there's half of everybody wanted to go eat lunch somewhere else because it was issues here, and then most people that have been coming here for a long time want to stay here. So that was part of the problem in that too.
That's actually my last point, because it might be the most divisive one, and
I'm sure that's the reason I think.
Okay, let's talk about it. As I said at the beginning of this, nobody in this room is shy. Some of you are being very shy right now, but you're not shy about telling me what you like and don't like. I hear it quite regularly, and I'm fine with that. What's that, Eric? What's that?
I'm pretty shy.
Yeah. The club has some great assets and some, I think, potential liabilities for us. Now, if we're going to try to marry up with the Exchange Club and both clubs are here, that might be a vote for staying here at this club. I've heard complaints about the food. I've heard complaints about the parking. I've heard, God knows I've complained about the audiovisual support. And the wireless support, it's borderline at best. So let's take them one at a time. How about the food service, not the food itself, but the food services? Are people generally satisfied with the way the club treats us in that regard?
Yes.
Okay. What about parking? I hear from several people, yeah, that we need a lot more handicap spaces and that we need a lot more. I don't know what else you do with parking. I really don't, but ideas? Now, come on now, y'all, don't be shy.
But it's still lacking.
Okay. And I don't know that the housing complex at the end of the parking lot's going to help any.
Can you go back to the food thing? Are we talking about?
We haven't talked about the quality of food yet.
Sorry.
I'm staying on facilities and some other things first. All right, food.
Well, I mean, I think, I don't know how long I've been a voter, but I think I was the one at one point that asked for grilled chicken, and I thought I was gonna be killed when I walked out of here that day. Anyway, I totally think that we can change our menu. I think that there should be options. Why not taco bar? Why not a salad, a hamburger bar? Why not sandwiches?
No, I think
We don't
that's
have to have that. So to me, that heavy meal for me, and it's not healthy, really. So I just, and then
This is what I do for lunch every day.
I think we can reduce our
Every day
price
here.
by not
Let's put it
doing
that way.
that. Because when you watch what goes out of here from those, that goes home with a lot of people.
Oh,
And so
you know,
we're paying for that.
I will tell you right now, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for some of the stuff I've heard from the club about how they're being so generous to us because they feed their entire staff here after every one of our meetings.
Well, they won't even let you take something home to a spouse that's sick or anything like that.
Even though we're paying for 30?
Right.
We'll let you do that.
I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy there. All right. Maybe, and Lynn, you know, we might need to designate, and anybody who wants to volunteer for this, I learned a long time ago, never volunteer, you just volunteer to die. To be a liaison with the Exchange Club to talk about these issues, because I think if both clubs were meeting the same day, twice a month or every other week, whatever it turns out to be, that there would be some decision-making influence there. That we would be able to lobby for an array, whereas one time it's Mexican, one time it's Chinese, whatever. I mean, I've seen this at Young Harris and I saw it here at Georgia College. You know, that nobody likes the same thing every day or even just once a week. So, and this is a good restaurant. They can come up with some good stuff, I think. And I don't think that makes it expensive. So first, is there a volunteer or a couple of people who want to do it? Talk with the Exchange Club. The two of you?
I'll take care of
Okay. You'll run with it. Okay. Everybody heard him, right?
it.
Okay, well, we're after time. We've gone over most everything I wanted to go over. Is there anything that anybody has that they're just screaming to bring to the group before we close the session?
I do have one thing.
Yes, sir.
Just from experience in different towns, different places and everything. And I had not heard this until recently from a Exchange Club member, but apparently there's been some talk about possibly going somewhere else and getting a caterer or whatever. We've done that before in a lot of different clubs that I've been in. We did it here, and it seems like we always end up back here. So I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea because there are not a whole lot of places that have these.
Oh, trust me, Merritt and I have had this conversation probably 20 times in the last month. Lynn?
One last discussion. I talked to you about the survey group,
Yes.
and I found a Rotary survey.
We actually sent it out electronically, Lynn, and nobody participated.
See, I think this is much better than the survey. I was having this conversation with the members that are here today. It's much better getting some feedback if y'all.
I find this very, very beneficial.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, that survey is for Rotary. and ask the kind of questions you're asking. This only represents about half of our club. Half of them in here today. I think if we did an electronic survey to every club member, and everybody's input, and then analyze that before we make any decision.
Okay,
I
Aaron,
agree with him. I've been in a lot of clubs. We meet somewhere else. If you don't have access to the kitchen,
agree.
the quality of the meals is very poor and very inconsistent.
Okay. Aaron, please.
Okay, quick. So I did send out a survey July 31st of this year, and out of 66 people, 18 responded. Now, I would like to take those survey results and have a more extensive survey sent out. But we just need more participation and response. And so we will put together a
Yeah,
plan.
I mean,
to do
this is why we came to this, because we started with that and nobody responded, not nobody.
Yeah, red hat.
Oh,
All right.
stop, everybody, one at a
And I
time.
think if we consistently encourage people to participate, even that involves a phone call, we get the highest percentage we can get in that survey, and we'll get a better idea and better feel what the majority of the club.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
You?
Well, I may have a unique problem, but anyway, my wife has control.
I knew what he was going to say.
Sometimes you're gonna send a survey out, then I can.
And so if we send you an email to tell you the survey coming, are you going to get that email?
We'll bring a paper survey as well.
That'd be great.
Okay,
Can I make one more point?
one more thing.
Okay, there's one more point I wanna make, and then I'll hush. So, one comment out of the survey stuck out to me, and I don't know who made a comment, but they wanted more diversity on the board. And people have to be willing to step up for that to happen.
Yeah.
So I would challenge everybody in the room, if you have not served, or it's been 10 years, possibly consider serving.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything that they're dying to tell us? Is that? Okay.
Are we gonna have a finish line for this, or is this just another conversation?
Well, I don't know what the finish line is, but
But you would understand the question.
I understand the question because I hear it.
Every year we do this, I feel.
I've not been here that long, but I've not seen a session like this here.
We have, who's gonna be responsible?
I'm the president, I'm responsible.
Wow. Jesus.
That was what, that's what you, I used to have to come here and set it like up. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
It used to be this order.
Yeah. Sorry, all.
I think he's the guy that can.
Mark, how many do you want?
What's that?
How many do you want?
You selling them what, by the dozen?
2 dozen.